the best place for your 3D printer is 30 centimeters away from your bed. Said no one ever. It doesn't take a genius to look at these different printer locations and decide which one is more appropriate. Although there's no studies that say printing in a ventilated room with PLA causes problems long term, it's better to be safe than sorry. When you heat up a material, plastic or any material really, emissions through fumes and particles can be emitted. On the right, you can see there's high ceilings, there's a window nearby, so it's easily ventilated, and there's lots of space. So if you wanted to print some PETG or TPU, it wouldn't be a big problem. Whereas on the left, next to your bed, it's obviously not ideal. It might look funny, but a lot of people have printers in their room. So if you must have a printer in an enclosed space with very little ventilation, we recommend medical grade air purifiers that have a HEPA filter. So mistake number 2, which filament setup is more ideal? Well, the one on the right looks really pretty and it looks like it's stored really nice, but actually the image on the left is one of the most ideal ways to store, and that is keeping them sealed. Filament, PLA, TPU, they all absorb moisture in the air. And if they're not stored correctly, no matter what slicing settings you have, you're going to have issues. Now, what actually happens if they're not stored correctly? Well, you can run into tangling problems. It's a really simple thing, but this can ruin a print, and it can also damage your extruder as well. It can also lead to spools untangling like this, which is just a headache. If you spend $50 on a spool, that's the last thing you want. And then the string, once they absorb moisture. So just make sure you store your filament properly, especially if it's something that you're not going to use that often. If you're running through your filament really quick, you've got a business and you run through a roll in a couple of days, it's probably not a big deal if it's left out. So mistake number 3, treating every PLA the same. A lot of people come in and they just slap generic PLA on every print. This can cause lots of different issues. For example, under extrusion, if the temperature isn't set right and the flow dynamics aren't set correctly. On the opposite end, you can run into over extrusion where there's too much material being pushed out. This can be attributed to too high of a temperature, the flow is too high, and you avoid this by using the correct filament settings. Now, how do you get the correct filament settings? The easiest way is just to download pre-tuned profiles that come with filament. So if you're going to be continuously buying this filament, it's important to make sure that the profiles are set nicely. With Filiform, for example, on the product page, download printer profiles is right here. And all the work's already been done for you. So you can just download them. Then once you go into your slicing software, regardless of whether it's silk or just standard, matte or high speed, all the settings have been set for you. Now, what happens if you buy some filament, say off Amazon, and there's no downloadable profiles? What do you do then? You're going to have to spend a bit of time tuning the settings yourself. Now, luckily, PLA is quite a versatile material. So a lot of the time you can get away with just using the generic profile. But if you do run into issues, you can run little experiments like a temp tower, which we have covered before. But if you would like some more information on how to run a temp tower and how to calibrate your filament, let us know. We can give you a hand with that. But you'll have to do this for each type of PLA and on each machine you have. So if you have an A1 and you have an X2D, you'll have to do it separately on each as the chamber does have an effect on cooling and things like that. So that's mistake number 3. And it's one that I see wrong most of the time with beginners. So number 4, I always say that the first layer is the most important layer for 3D printing. You don't want to get spaghetti like this. Well, not really like this, more like this. And although this looks terrible, this is not as bad as getting an issue like this. So both of these can occur when your print adhesion is not adequate. So how do we avoid these? It seems really simple, but it's good to go over this. Large flat surfaces. There's a reason why the Benchy isn't printed like this. And it's not just for supports, but it's because the first layer is so small. When you calculate the surface area, it's tiny. So you're relying on this really small area to be the foundations for your whole print. So that's why we print it like this. Now, what happens if there isn't a large flat surface available? Well, you can use a brim, and you'd be surprised how many people aren't aware of this setting. So this Spider-Man here has a small surface area on his feet, and you could add a large base, say a grass patch or a stone patch, But if you wanted him to be standing like this, a brim can really make your print way more reliable. So number 3, what if you've added a brim and you've got a large surface area, but you're still running into problems with adhesion? Number 3 would be to check that your bed is clean. If you've been using your printer for years and never cleaned your bed, and then you're having plate adhesion problems, then cleaning your bed can solve this very, very quickly. Now we've got a video on this. You can just use hot water and soap, exactly like you're cleaning a dish. And if that doesn't do the job, then you can go to the heavy duty IPA. Now what happens if that also doesn't work and you're still having plate adhesion issues? This is when you can go to the spray, which some prints just require every time depending on the shape, if they're just prone to warping. Of the spray here, along with those other steps beforehand, it just adds even more confidence that the print is going to work. Number 5, you've added all of this and it's still not sticking. A lot of the times with bamboo printers, their speeds are quite fast and sometimes too fast, in my opinion. So if you're printing something where the first layer is absolutely critical, say a light box where the whole print is reliant on the first layer, I like to slow down the settings to even below half of what it says by default. And it'll take some extra time, but it'll guarantee that the material is being deposited, heating that region nicely and adhering to the bed. So this is what can happen if you're printing too quick. And on the right, if you slow it down, it can really solve your problems. Now, you might have tried all of these other tips and your print still might not be working. And it might not be because you've done anything incorrectly with slicing or print bed maintenance. But if you neglect printer maintenance, then you can run into issues that aren't obvious. Now, these are some extreme examples of what can happen if you just maintain your printer. And your bamboo will warn you, lubricate the rods and the lead screws. And if you just keep ignoring that, over time, your printer will begin to struggle with its movement, say with the actuation here. And if this can happen here, if this lead screw is not lubricated, it gets stuck, but then the other ones are. And this is the last thing that you want to deal with when you've got a customer asking for a print. Similar, but more in the X and Y axis, if your motion system isn't properly lubricated, you can have something called skipping steps. You might think it's your filament settings or something like that, but it can actually be your printer begging to be lubricated and maintained correctly. So check your high wear components, things like your nozzles and even your PTFE tubes. Those can wear down really, really quickly. Now, taking all of these 5 steps into account, you can go from getting spaghetti like this to getting spaghetti prints like this, which is what you want. This is the right type of spaghetti, nicely extruded. And I can hear Tony laughing. But this is what you want. You can see the first layer adhesion there, beautiful. So make sure to take all of those things into account before and after you get some 3D printers.